Here we are with my old friend, colleague, and Hall of Famer Steve Flink. We were watching together next to each other the match between Jannik Sinner and Grigor Dimitrov, which was quite a surprising match since the beginning, and even more surprising at the end.
Very well described, Ubaldo, because Sinner got an early break in the first set, won at 6-3. Then he got another early break in the second. He served for the second set at 5-4, got broken, broke right back, and served it out. So he's 2 sets to love up. He hits an ace in the deuce court to make it 2-all in the third set, and suddenly he's on the ground in deep pain. And that proved to be the end of the match. I mean, you can describe to the listeners what that injury was, but it was a shocker. And he went to the locker room, came back, and shook hands with Sinner, unable to continue the match, retired.
Yes, retired, and it's the 9th times in 58 slams that Grigor Dimitrov retires, and in the last 5 slams in a row, which is a record which is, I think, unbeatable, unbreakable, I don't know, is the saddest record I can remember.
Sad. Very sad, because he was playing beautiful tennis. Sinner was very sporting after the match. He said, this is not a win.
Yeah.
And he's right, it's not a real win. But it was inspired tennis from Dimitrov, the serving, the flat forehands, the slice backhand, the agility around the court. It was all on display, but all for naught because of that sudden injury, just from hitting a serve wide in the deuce court, down on the ground, writhing in pain.
Yes, 75% of his backhands were sliced by Dimitrov, which you don't see it very often. And then with one-hand backhand,
yes,
you don't see it very often today in the modern tennis.
And he had Sinner off balance, Ubaldo, too. And he was actually better for large portions of those 2 sets from the backcourt. So Sinner was in deep trouble. He knew it. It was going to be a long way back. He wasn't out of it, but highly unlikely that he would have won that match.
Yes, we must also say that in the first game of the match, Sinner had fallen down and had got a problem to his elbow. And he mentioned on TV that somebody in Italy heard him talking to his corner, and he said, I cannot hit strong my serve and my forehand. And there were moments when we thought that he could possibly retire himself. Before he called the physio, and really he wasn't the best Sinner. He couldn't serve more than 125 miles per hour.
Right. No, and he better be able to do that when he plays at Ben Shelton in the quarterfinal. He'll need to be fully fit for that match. He doesn't want to be worried about this nagging injury. So hopefully on his day off, he can recover and come back strong for that quarter, because he'll need to be physically at peak efficiency.
Yes, Shelton beat Sonego, and it was again a tough match. Shelton has won 3 matches in a row in 3 different slams: Australia, Roland Garros, and here versus Sonego. But every time has been a fight, a big fight.
Yeah, this was a bigger fight today than I expected, Ubaldo. I'll have to confess, my predictions last night left a lot to be desired. I didn't get many right, and I was wrong on this. I thought there would be an easier match for Shelton on the grass, but Sonego showed that he can play on any surface, and he pushed him hard. It all turned in the third set tiebreaker, which Shelton won, I believe, 7 points to 1. He just crushed him in that third set tiebreak, went on to win it in 4.
Yes, that tiebreaker was played unbelievable by Shelton, really great. And then in the fourth set, Shelton was up 1 break, but Sonego came back, but then he lost his last serve, and that was it. There was another prediction that we were against. I mean, we didn't share it, the same prediction. I said that Cobolli could beat Cilic, and you thought Cilic had 55%, not more than that.
Did I really say that? Is
yeah,
that true?
I think so.
You're absolutely right. Full marks to Cobolli. I will say this, Ubaldo. Had I known the conditions would be what they were, I might have changed those odds a little bit, because it was very windy, as it was during the Djokovic match against Minaur.
Yeah.
And I think that wind disrupted Cilic more than it did Cobolli. All credit to Cobolli for hitting through the wind so well. Cilic, I don't think, served his very best for 2 sets. He got better after that. He won a tiebreak, went up a break in the 4th, and lost another tiebreak. So he was better toward the end of the match, but I think the windy conditions in the end favored Cobolli.
Yeah, but anyway, Cobolli played very, very well the first 2 sets,
Yeah.
while, as you said, Cilic didn't perform that well. He was sometimes a little slow. When the rally was longer, Cobolli was making all the points. And Cobolli was playing tactically very well because he was trying to avoid the forehand that Cilic normally plays from the left corner.
Yes.
And he was playing a lot of down the line backhands,
Yes.
which were causing problems to Cilic.
Yeah.
It's true that Cilic, after the first 2 set loss, he started to play much better, and I thought he would have won the 4th set when he was up 1 break, but he lost that break and then in the tiebreaker he lost easily 7 points to 3.
Yeah, surprising.
Three forehands in a row he missed.
Yeah, which is you wouldn't expect it at that stage. He had the momentum on his side, having won the 3rd and having had these chances in the 4th. But look, Cobolli, I give him full marks. You look at the way he started this year. I think there was a stage, Ubaldo, where he lost
7 matches in a row.
Yeah, I saw that early in the season, 7 in a row, which is astounding. And look what he's done since. So
Yeah.
this is, and of course, as we know, he was hitting with Novak Djokovic's son here.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't arrange those practice sessions, but I don't know if I believe you on that.
Yeah. Anyway, now he has to play Djokovic's father.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, right,
I mean,
right.
Not the son, but the father.
Yeah.
And of course, Djokovic is the strong favorite, but he will have to fight because I mean
Yes.
he was in trouble sometimes with Minaur.
Well,
And,
Minaur played a smart. It'll be a different kind of match, Ubaldo. Minaur, he gave him a lot of slice backhands. They kept getting in these slice backhand exchanges. Minaur then was hitting powerfully off his forehand side, out hitting Novak in that department. Forehand to forehand, he was better for much of the match. So he played a really great match, and he won the first set 6-1. Djokovic broken 3 times in the first set, but then Djokovic came back and won the last 3, 4-4 and 4 after being down 1-4 break point in the 4th set. So he was in real danger of going 5, but he played a great last 3 games to close it out and won 5 games in a row altogether.
Okay, so now tomorrow we have in the men's quarters of finals, Cameron Norrie versus Carlos Alcaraz and Taylor Fritz versus Karen Khachanov.
Do I dare make predictions?
Yeah, do.
Okay, I'm afraid after last night. But I'm going with Alcaraz in 4 sets over Norrie,
Yes.
and I'm going with Fritz also in 4 sets.
Well, I must be wrong because I do agree.
And we're going to predict the women?
The women, well, tomorrow we have Sabalenka Sigmund. Sabalenka should win.
Sabalenka straight sets.
Yeah. And then the other one is what? Amanda Anisimova versus Pavlyuchenkova.
I'm going to give Anisimova the slight edge, and I think it's going 3 one way or another, but I'll pick Anisimova.
Yeah. Well, today we had the Swiatek winning versus Clara Towson.
Yes.
And we had Bencic beating Alexandrova, which is in a way is a surprise.
Bencic hasn't played that well since early in the season. She's now resurgent. This is some of the best tennis she's played in months, so I was happy that was a surprise.
Yeah.
I would have expected going in she would lose.
While it wasn't a surprise that Mira Andreeva beat Emma Navarro quite easily.
You're talking about an American.
Yeah, I know, but I hope you
I agree
forgive
with you.
me.
No, I totally agree with that. I expected that if Andreeva was at her best, she would win that match in straight, and she did.
And then the last match of today was the one we didn't mention yet is Samsonova, a Russian girl who was practically Italian because he lives in Turin. He speaks Italian better than me.
Yeah.
She won versus Jessica Buzzo's Minaur, and so she's in the semifinal.
Yeah. I think her day was going to come, and now it has. That's a great breakthrough win for her, and we've been expecting this kind of result for her for some time, so I'm not shocked.
Well, thanks a lot to my old friend, colleague, and Hall of Famer Steve Flink, and see you tomorrow from Wimbledon.